Hello and welcome to Brandy's Poetry Corner. Today's poem is a selection, it's an extract from a selection of quatrains attributed to Omar Khayyam. The selection of quatrains is the word Rubaiyat. So this is a part of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, dubbed the astronomer poet of Persia. Edward Fitzgerald's translation was extraordinarily popular at the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th century. Part of that sort of wonderful Orientalism, which probably in some ways was quite insulting to the Orient, but at least it's better than thinking that everybody in that part of the world is a terrorist. It is beautiful, and some of these lines are incredibly well known, even in a more non-poetic age. So this is a selection of quatrains from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam by Edward Fitzgerald. Wake! For the sun, who scattered into flight the stars before him from the field of night, drives night along with them from heaven and strikes the Sultan's turret with a shaft of light. Before the phantom of false morning died, methought a voice within the tavern cried, "When all the temple is prepared within, why nods the drowsy worshipper outside?" And as the cock crew, those who stood before the tavern shouted, "Open then the door! You know how little while we have to stay, and once departed may return no more." A book of verses underneath the bough, a jug of wine, a loaf of bread, and thou beside me singing in the wilderness. O wilderness were paradise enow. Some for the glories of this world, and some sigh for the prophet's paradise to come. Ah, take the cash, and let the credit go, nor heed the rumble of a distant drum. Look at the blowing rose about us. Lo, laughing, she says, into the world I blow. At once the silken tassel of my purse tear, and its treasure on the garden throw. And those who husbanded the golden grain, and those who flung it to the winds like rain, alike to no such aureate earth are turned, as, buried once, men want dug up again. I sometimes think there never blows so red the rose as where some buried Caesar bled, that every hyacinth the garden wears dropped in her lap from some once lovely head. And this reviving herb, whose tender green fledges the river lip, on which we lean, lean upon it lightly, for who knows from what once lovely lip it springs unseen. Ah, my beloved, fill the cup that clears today of past regrets and future fears. Tomorrow, why, tomorrow I may be myself in yesterday's 7,000 years. For some we loved, the loveliest and the best, that from his vintage rolling time hath pressed, have drunk their cup a round or two before, and one by one crept silently to rest. And we, that now make merry in the room, they left, and summer dresses in new bloom, ourselves must we beneath the couch of earth descend, ourselves to make a couch, for whom? Ah, make the most of what we yet may spend, before we too into the dust descend, dust into dust, and under dust to lie, sun's wine, sun's song, sun's singer, and sun's end. The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. And what inverted bowl they call the sky, where under crawling cooped we live and die, lift not your hands to it for help, for it as impotently moves as you or I. Thank you. For more poems, or bits of poems in that case, look at Brandy Pearson on YouTube, my little channel there. Thank you.